It has been a project in the making for years, and in 2015, the vision of a new and improved Wrigleyville started to be constructed into a reality. In addition to the many renovations being brought to the 102-year-old stadium itself, a $750 million project being called Project 1060 has been set into motion to further expand the iconic Wrigleyville. The renovations around the stadium include a hotel, a new office for the Cubs, and more than 100,000 square feet for new food and beverage venues. During the off-season, the plaza is planned to be used for family-friendly activities such as ice skating, farmers markets, and up to 25 major events throughout the year. In 2015, the construction began on the first of the 3 new buildings, the office and retail space, which will be located at the north end of the open-air plaza. The plan for the Wrigley Plaza was proposed by the Ricketts family, the family which owns the Chicago Cubs as of 2009, and has sparked a whirlwind of debate.
While some are looking forward to the newest addition to Wrigley, others are worried what is being called the largest beer garden in the Midwest will cast a shadow on the traditional stadium.
I don't like it at all. I think it takes away from the culture, from the beautiful Wrigley Field feel, and I think it's going to just take away from businesses around here, so I don't like it.
Earlier this month, Chicago Cubs owner Tom Ricketts blasted 44th Ward Alderman Tom Tunney, saying they, quote, had a deal from the beginning, and now Tunney is not upholding his end. Tunney recently proposed that the new plaza only sell beer and wine during games, concerts, or special events. Alcohol sales would start 2 hours before the games and end after the 7th inning, the same rules that apply in the ballpark.
You know, that's their prerogative to do what they think is in the best interest of the club, which I'm sure they're doing. My job is to do the best interest of the community that I serve and represent.
The Ricketts family argues that was not the original plan that was finalized after hundreds of hours of negotiation and wants to treat the plaza as any other bar. Ricketts agreed to sell only beer and wine, but does not feel he should have to accept other limitations. Ricketts went on to accuse Tunney of, quote, putting on a front for some bar owners and local business owners who oppose the plaza. The Stretch is one of the many bars along Clark Street that could be affected by the renovations. General Manager J.J. Campisi weighs in on what these plans mean for local businesses like his.
I do think the Cubs should have to play by the same rules that everybody else plays by, just because they're they're owned by $1 billion corporation. Doesn't mean that they should have different rules than us as small business owners.
Some of the owners of larger bars on Clark Street are worried the Cubs will try to undercut them and sell cheaper beer in the plaza. While some of the smaller bars are not worried about losing their regular following, some larger bars are up in arms.
I'm not sure if it's going to affect my personal business here, but I do think it will affect some of the bigger bars that have bigger occupancies, because a lot of people are going to be on that patio instead of filling in their bars. So I do think that businesses in the area will be affected negatively and positively at the same time.
For local residents, the biggest concern surrounding the newest renovations is safety.
With the newest additions to Wrigley being installed, including a massive beer garden, some surrounding residents are concerned about their safety. Some aren't sure the Chicago police are going to be able to focus on Wrigley when crime rates are soaring in other neighborhoods.
Zoe Sampson is a resident of Wrigleyville who lives just a block away from the plaza construction site, where rowdy crowds already seem like the norm.
It seems like Chicago PD diverts a lot of its resources to the Cubs and surrounding neighborhoods, so I think there are always going to be drunks that are going to be a little bit rowdy. I don't know. I think the police will keep us pretty safe. They can't, prevent everyone from, peeing on your building or, smashing a window every so often. But
the new patio is expected to have an occupancy of 4,000 to 6,000 people. If granted, the Cubs would be given a liquor license 30 times larger than Chicago's largest, which is 200. Some residents aren't sure the larger than usual capacity will be controllable and won't clash well with the already congested area on game days. For Alderman Tunney, the large capacity is a major concern when it comes to safety.
We're very concerned about public safety. We're very concerned about aggregation of large amounts of people drinking beer and how that intersects with closing the streets, which they had proposed, and some other things. And it's just the idea that right now the largest aggregation of patio is 200, maybe 250. So this is unique. This is a special exception.
Although the Ricketts have pointed fingers at Tunney for going against the original plans, Tunney is not the only one concerned when looking at the big picture.
I think it's going to cause a little bit more of a security problem. I think that it's going to be hard to have 4,000 more people on that patio, plus 30,000+ in the stadium, and then getting out of the game, and just everything that has to go with security and operations of it. It's very questionable. The Cubs haven't really said too much about the issues that they're facing. They just kind of play the politics role and just say what everybody wants to hear, and then don't give any actual concrete plans.
A letter was recently sent to Tom Ricketts from the presidents of East Lakeview, Southport, Hawthorne, and the Triangle Neighbors Association. The letter accused the Cubs of pulling the plug on months of negotiations and disregard for the surrounding residents by applying for a patio license. Several neighborhood groups have formed since the original proposal, opposing Ricketts' plans and calling for compromise. Ricketts has expressed his frustration, emphasizing the project is being done without the expense of city taxpayers, as it is entirely funded by their private company. With private ownership, Ricketts believes he should be able to call the shots. The City Council plays no role in granting a patio license. It's approved by Mayor Rahm Emanuel's Liquor Control Commission. If Emanuel sides with Tunney on the liquor restrictions, Ricketts will be forced to negotiate. The mayor recently rejected the proposal of street closure on Clark and Addison during game days, saying the Cubs need to be good neighbors to Wrigleyville.
My efforts are on behalf of the residents and businesses that elect me every 4 years. So it's very important that I pay close attention to them, and just like everything else, we try to mediate and we try to get some consensus. And I think that takes time in any discussion. Look at the state of Illinois. I think we're moving pretty good here in the city of Chicago, at least in Wrigleyville.
As of now, the 4-year project is in full swing, and there are hopes that some renovations will be complete as early as the playoff season. Discussions will continue regarding the use of the plaza, and as of now, no final decisions have been made. However, it has been decided Wrigleyville has some major renovations coming its way, whether people agree on it or not. Although the political debacle continues, some fans are looking forward to the many attractions coming to Wrigleyville.
I'm just excited to see what it's going to look like, see all the new things that are going to be added into Wrigley. Be exciting to see.
It's a beer garden, right? That's what I'm ready for.
Whether they agree or disagree with the changes coming to the iconic Wrigley Field, it's safe to say local business owners, residents, and fans alike still have one shared vision in common: a World Series win in 2016. For Good Day DePaul, I'm Kelly Bowles.